We love bringing you stories of faith, family, and freedom. And today we want to tell you about a way you can be a part of the incredible momentum that we're seeing in this country. President Trump is back, and in just 5 months, America is rising again. The border is being secured, deportations are underway, woke policies like DEI are being dismantled, and our military is being rebuilt with strength and purpose. But friends, this is an all-hands-on-deck mission. Trump can't do it alone. And that's why we encourage you to stand with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. For as little as $12 a year, you can join a growing community of patriots working to hold Congress accountable and restore common sense leadership in Washington. You'll receive AMAC's exclusive magazine, access to member discounts, free resources, and most importantly, you'll be part of a movement rooted in American values. Visit amac.us/sunrise right now and let your voice be heard. Together, we can help restore this great nation. And for more, let's bring in the Senior Vice President of AMAC Action, Andy Mangione. Welcome, Andy.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Andy. AMAC Action recently went on the record in support of H.R. 4, which would codify the wasteful spending cuts in President Trump's rescission package. Why is this important for AMAC members?
Well, one of AMAC's foundational tenets is shrinking the size of government and cutting wasteful spending. This bill is of significance to AMAC members because, as you mentioned, it codifies the cuts to wasteful spending as identified by President Trump's rescission package. And seniors are disproportionately affected by inflation and deficit spending. So saving taxpayers billions of dollars goes a long way to helping retired people who live on fixed incomes enjoy a better quality of life. And AMAC members are also tired of seeing their hard-earned tax dollars support radical left-wing biased talking points and social agendas that are presented as news by PBS and NPR, and they welcome the defunding of these outlets. A vote on H.R. 4 is expected to occur today, and we'll be watching Congress carefully to see if representatives stand with taxpayers on these cuts to wasteful spending and pass this important legislation.
Absolutely. I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer to cut these specific spending line items there. You know, AMAC members have been involved in corporate advocacy over the years, and their grassroots pressure recently helped change woke policies at IBM. What can you tell us about that initiative?
Well, one of President Trump's initiatives is to rid the country of divisive DEI policies. AMAC members let their voice be heard in yet another corporate boardroom. Over 4,400 AMAC members directly contacted IBM executives, urging them to abandon their DEI frameworks. This overwhelming response was central to a multi-pronged campaign led by advocates who had submitted a shareholder resolution that targeted IBM's DEI policies. Now, as a result of that combined grassroots and shareholder pressure, IBM agreed to reject viewpoint discrimination, particularly against conservatives and religious voices, in exchange for withdrawal of the shareholder resolution. This victory shows that corporate boardrooms listen to conservative voices when they are organized and persistent.
Love that. That is so cool to know. You always wonder, how is it that they had this sudden change of heart? Well, there's the answer. That's very powerful. How would the one big, beautiful bill, though, affect AMAC members, and how did they help get it passed in the House of Representatives?
Well, there are many policy wins in this legislation that are of great interest to AMAC members, including those who are still working and own small businesses. Making the Trump tax cuts permanent would help these small businesses and jumpstart the economy. The bill also provides relief from the death tax and ensures that seniors can pass down legacy businesses without excessive government interference. The tax break for Social Security beneficiaries would certainly help people living on fixed incomes, and the pharmacy benefit manager reforms in this bill would lower drug costs for Medicare Part D beneficiaries. AMAC members got involved, and they rallied to send their congressional representatives over 14,400 messages within a 72-hour period the week that the House passed the week that the House voted on the one big, beautiful bill. And we'd like to think that their voices provided a huge assist in getting this bill across the finish line.
And you got to ask you about this. AMAC Action recently held their delegate fly-in day in Washington, D.C. How was that experience?
It was a great experience. It was wonderful. We had 6 teams of AMAC action delegates hold 24 strategic meetings with members of Congress, senators, and their staff. And this was the week that the House passed the One Big Beautiful Bill we just talked about. So that issue was top of mind during our congressional meetings. But we also discussed making Social Security solvent, including codifying the waste, fraud, and abuse identified by DOJ within that benefit. And we talked about health care issues as well. It was a powerful display of civic engagement, and it was also a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tell us, what do we have to look forward to with AMAC? What are some initiatives in the future that you guys are implementing that we can look forward to?
Well, we've had a huge impact on the Trump tax cuts. But I think when I mentioned pharmacy benefit manager reform before, the pharmacy benefit manager reform that is in the One Big Beautiful Bill deals with the public sector, deals with Medicare. We need to work on additional legislation to get pharmacy benefit manager reform to lower the cost of drugs, the out-of-pocket expenses for drugs for all Americans. And that has to deal with the private side of health insurance. So we'll be looking at that. We've been advocating for that for years, and we're still going to continue our work on that to make sure that every American can enjoy lower out-of-pocket expenses and lower drug costs.
Well, Andy Mangione, thank you so much for joining us today and all the great work you do at AMAC. Have a great day, Andy.
Thank you. My pleasure.